Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It seems as though Meghan Markle's staff in the Californian mansion have pretty much had enough of her. They've had enough of listening to her voice. They've had enough of her fakery. Now this article's popped up, but this is my personal thoughts and feelings. I personally think that this is a cover story for the real reality of what is going on. Her staff do not want to work for her anymore, but I think due to the pandemic, they would struggle to find a new role, and it sounds as though they're going to be out of there in a flash as soon as everything opens up again, because we know that due to COVID, employment is down and job opportunities that are floating about are not as plentiful as what they was in January. So the article is another one by The Express, and it is titled Meghan Markle shocked Duchess staff in new California mansion do impressions of her. Now cast your mind back to an instance where you was ever imitating someone else or mocking the way someone spoke or copying what they was doing. I'm not saying every single person who does that is doing it in a malicious way, because sometimes we imitate our friends or our children or our family members in a light-hearted way. But for your staff to be imitating the way you talk, to me personally, it sounds as though they want a new job and they're sick and tired of listening to her. God knows how much stress she is putting them through. But it seems like it is a lot, and they've now resorted to doing this. So I'm going to get into the article. Meghan Markle's new staff at her California mansion do impressions of her after she picked up an English accent during her time living in the UK with Prince Harry. Now this can be either one of two things. This could be a PR spin to make her sound as though she really cares about the UK and she really likes England, and she's trying to win some slight favour of the British people. You know, I'm one of you guys. I like English culture. I like English expressions. It's just that I didn't like the way in which the media spoke about me. Or it could simply be that they need a new job and they want a new job right now. I personally think it is the latter. I think that they want a new job. They've had enough of her barking at them and they want out. So it carries on to say, Meghan Markle's new staff at her mansion do impressions of her in California. Prince Harry and the Duchess of Sussex spent 2 years together in Britain. You see that? Only 2 years. 2 years and suddenly she's picked up a British accent. I find it extremely hard to believe. She is all American. Meghan Markle is nothing but an American. I have not seen a British accent even slip out from her during one of her interviews. I've not heard it or seen it. So it carries on to say, in Britain before their departure to North America, the Duchess's staff now get a kick out of her mixed accent and vocabulary. Please. Meghan Markle didn't really make any British friends except for Harry. He's her husband, but she didn't really make a real effort to surround herself with British people. She certainly wasn't interacting with Kate. She wasn't interacting with the Queen. She's shown them nothing but disrespect. She probably saw Prince Charles in passing, and she spent 90% of her time, during the last 2 years, or during the 2 years that they were actually allegedly meant to be living in the UK, she spent most of her time on a private plane. She wasn't even in the country half of the time. So how could she have suddenly started to pick up British expressions? Apart from Harry, of course. I just, this is far-reaching. A source told The Sun Meghan was the all-American girl before she met Harry, but since living in the UK, she adopted certain phrases. Her staff think it's amusing to listen to an American celebrity using Britishisms. She's often heard saying, "oh darling," to people at home. Oh, anyone can say that. They do have a giggle about it, and sometimes they do impressions of her, but only in a light-hearted way. It's funny to them. No, they are downright straight up taking the mick out of her. I think she actually caught them, and because she doesn't want them to possibly speak or trash her to the media, this story's coming out in a really kind of like fun, kind of friendly way, but I think they are damn right taking the mick out of her and they want new jobs. They're tired of her. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex reportedly moved to their new mansion in Santa Barbara 6 weeks ago. The staff at the Sussex's home adore Prince Harry and his accent. A source said the staff there love to hear Harry's accent too. They adore him. He's very well mannered and staff were shocked by how down to earth he is as a royal. And they really like to pump out this, they're down to earth, they're down to earth. How can they be down to earth? They've purchased a 9-bedroom mansion with 16 bathrooms, claim they want to be financially independent, yet all they do is go after and chase an extremely lavish lifestyle, and they want to reside in extremely large lavish buildings. There's nothing down to earth about that. If you really want to be seen as being down to earth, then live in a down to earth way. Act as though you want to live in a down to earth way. I just find it absolutely preposterous. So it carries on to say he just wants to live a more normal life now in California and enjoy family time. Well, live in a 3-bedroom home. That's all you need, really. 1 room for the gym, 1 room for baby Archie, a marital room for you and Meghan, a little pool at the back. Be humble, live within your means, because we're paying for it. We're paying for all of it. All of this, we want to be down to earth. We know that it's lies. We know that it's not true, because if they really wanted to be down to earth, they would live in a humble way. The source has predicted, and this is me reading from the article, that Prince Harry will start to pick up an American vocabulary now he is living in the US. It's highly unlikely that he will suddenly start picking up an American accent all of a sudden. I mean, most people, once they get over a certain age, their accent is stuck the way it is. And if he does start practicing an American accent, maybe he wants to go into acting of some description, because let's face it, they need to be paying these bills. He's already on Netflix. No doubt he'll start to pick up Americanisms soon and will be asking staff to take out the trash. Oh, please. The new mansion has 9 bedrooms, 16 bathrooms, a children's playground and a swimming pool. They didn't really miss any details out, did they? The Duke and Duchess of Sussex purchased the $14.6 million mansion in Montecito, Santa Barbara, according to page 6. Inside the home, the property includes an office, a library, spa with a separate dry and wet sauna, gym, game room, wine cellar, and 5-car garage. The home also has a large lot of land that contains rose gardens, which I'm sure Meghan will not be maintaining, and neither will Harry, the allegedly down-to-earth couple, century-old olive trees, tennis courts, a tea house, a swimming pool, and a children's cottage. So they have houses upon houses on this actual piece of land. The area is known for its celebrity residents, with neighbourhoods including Oprah Winfrey and Drew Barrymore. So you can see the way they situated themselves right next to other A-listers, because they are so desperate to be in on the action and invited to the parties and the cookouts, the weekend cookouts. Before moving into their new mansion, the Sussexes were living in Tyler Perry's huge Beverly Hills Tuscan-style villa, which Harry reportedly insulted and said, "Oh, it's not to my taste, that's why we left." The Duke and Duchess of Sussex decided to step down as senior royals earlier this year. The couple continued undertaking royal duties up until the end of March, but the Sussexes said they would carry on taking part in engagements with organisations they were already involved with, such as the Invictus Games. I would love to know why Meghan Markle hasn't made any effort whatsoever to contact her patronage for the Royal Theatre. It's rather interesting the way in which Harry is actually, I take my hat off to him. He's keeping up with a lot of his royal engagements with all of his patronages. He's making the effort. He has, well, I guess he has the breeding for it. He's been doing it for a long time. And Meghan's not really making much of an effort. She seems to be banging on about politics, which as a royal, someone with any royal affiliation should not be expressing political opinions. But there we have it. Disrespectful Megzy is, of course, banging on about what she thinks should be done politically and why the suffragettes were so important, which, yes, they was very important, but she has no business discussing what they did because she is bound legally to the royal family. She's not meant to be able to touch upon those issues. So it carries on to say they originally planned to split their time evenly between the UK and North America, which they did, and then swiftly that changed. But since March, the couple have been living in the US with their son Archie, which was always the plan. We know that Meghan was always really desperate to get to Hollywood, and she couldn't get there based upon her raw talent. So she married Prince Harry. The Duchess's mum, Doria Ragland, has reportedly moved in with the Sussexes during the pandemic to help take care of their son Archie. And I think that's all due to paranoia, because they were probably stressing out the previous nannies. So now Doria's the glorified unpaid nanny. I don't know how she's putting up with them, but she is. And I'm not saying it's abnormal for a grandmother to look after her grandson, but I just think with a couple who simply don't have a problem with spending that amount of money, they may as well hire someone in, right? And let the taxpayers cover the bill. What can I really say about this? There you have it. I think that the staff are desperate for new jobs. I think they're sick of her. They probably are in desperate need of a pay rise. It sounds like it. They're actually mocking her. I think maybe the PR team overheard them taking the mick out of the way she talks, and they've now decided to use it as a positive PR piece. That's what I personally think, guys. And there you have it. I'll be back for another video. Bye, guys.